I think Alex is crafty enough to make it a close fight and at least go the distance.
Yes.
To be honest, I hate to say this because we want to see an all-out brawl and we want to see them go toe-to-toe. Alex not going to fight that fight.
And
I can
Alex
almost
is-
promise you that. I don't think Matthew is going to just lose a decision like that. He's not going to just let Alex just outpoint him.
And I don't think Alex is going to let Matthew Semelsberger just knock him out like that either. Matthew Semelsberger versus Alex Morono. Now, Alex Morono is on a 3-fight winning streak here. Most recent 2 losses come from Anthony Perez and Kalen Williams, or Chaos Williams. That's making him 7-2 in his last 9 fights. Now, Matthew Semelsberger, his only loss is to a common opponent in Chaos Williams, and that would make him 4-1 under the UFC. So that's not bad from both guys. Both of these guys know how to get the job done. They're winners. They have a path to victory.
Alex, he's not the most athletic guy. Like, his punches are wingy, he's a little sloppy. He gets the job done. What's weird with Alex is he's a black belt in Taekwondo, but he really don't use it as much as he could. He gets in these brawls. You ever notice, like, fights, he gets to a brawl instead of standing on the outside using his kicks and his Taekwondo. And that might hurt him against Matthew. Because Matthew, he's down. Like, he's down. You don't want to brawl with Matthew.
Thing is, Matthew ain't even a brawler because the one combination he's putting people out with is a 1-2. He's beating people with the most basic combination in striking across the board, just a 1-2. Alex, like, he's good enough everywhere to get the job done. Not particularly like amazing anywhere, but he does a good job of controlling the fight and making people fight at his level, so it doesn't go past his level of athleticism. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Like, he can corral you into fighting at a pace that's comfortable for him, where he can be in control. But even with that being said, if he is not the first person to get his strikes off, he does this thing where he throws these like looping punches. If he's the first one to get off, he'll throw good 1-2s, like good combinations. But his punches do seem a little bit sloppy if the other person hit him first and he's trying to get them back. And his chin will be in the air, and it's like, oh man. And something, when you watch him fight, sometimes you just think, man, if the other person make a slight adjustment, or if Alex don't tighten up their defense, something bad is gonna happen. And it happened against Chaos Williams. That's been a long time ago. That was like 2 years ago, if not more.
Alex has fought tougher competition than Matthew.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, he fought Anthony Pettis, he fought Max Griffin, Jordan Main. So he's fought some bigger names, Nico Price. And the thing is with Matthew, his toughest opponent was Chaos. Chaos is a common opponent, and Matthew did a whole lot better.
And then he fought against a better Chaos Williams and went to a decision.
But the thing is that Donald Cerrone win that Alex has,
it hasn't aged
well, to be honest, man. Like,
AJ Fletcher is 9-1, so he wasn't no loser. He was undefeated. Now, I don't know how in the world this dude got there. So I don't know. We can't really put too much on that victory because that didn't really count for too much.
I think Alex is crafty enough to make it a close fight and at least go the distance.
Yes.
To be honest, I hate to say this because we want to see an all-out brawl and we want to see them go toe-to-toe. Alex not going to fight that fight.
And
I can almost promise you that.
He wins fights for a reason.
But the thing is with Matthew, he's improving everywhere. So he's not just a knockout artist. He's good everywhere. He's like, his last fight, he showed he can get the fight to the ground. He got a bunch of takedowns. A lot of people see Matthew as a knockout artist, but he can, if it's a 3-round fight, he has a chance of winning the decision.
Oh, yeah. And then especially with that power, because even if he don't knock Alex out, he can drop him.
The thing about Alex, he throws a bunch of punches with his hands down, and that's what scares me.
It does.
And if he does that against Matthew, like, this is going to end in the first round.
I wouldn't say first round. That would be kind of crazy.
You don't think so?
Matthew has shown he's got knockout power up to a certain level. You beating people in 16 seconds, that guy didn't belong in the UFC. You beat somebody in 15 seconds, well, his record is 4-3. Are you going to land that punch against Alex Morono? I don't think Alex is going to let that happen. Alex has been in there with dangerous people, and the only person who was able to really do that was Chaos Williams. And that fight was a short notice fight. You know, nobody really knew that much about Chaos at the time. That's what put Chaos on the map. Outside of that, nobody else has ever done him like that. He's got 2 TKO losses in 2014 and 1 against Chaos Williams. So he ain't just somebody that's getting knocked out. So do you think that power from Matthew Semelsberger going to transfer at this level of the game?
I guess we have to wait to see. We don't know. Because this is his toughest opponent other than Chaos. But other than Chaos, Alex is his toughest opponent. And will it work on that caliber of opponent?
And then Alex, his last fight, he beat Donald Cerrone.
Yeah, that don't really. I wouldn't brag about that.
Hold on. Check this out now. Hold on. If we take it back to 2020, he beat Reese McKee, who is no longer in the UFC. He got beat by Kamzat too, actually. Then his other win is Donald Cerrone. That has not aged well. Donald retired at the beginning of this month at UFC 276. David Zawada, who kind of ran into some tough times here, and Mickey Gall. Bro, that 3-fight win streak ain't. I mean, it's a good win streak, but Mickey Gall is 1-3 in his last 4 fights. So it's like, how much weight can we put on those wins? Man, I hate to say this, but I might pick Matthew Semelsberger just because Alex might be the biggest test that he's had. But Alex's last few fights, man, you're supposed to win all them, bro. You're supposed to win them. And realistically, Matthew would have knocked all them out.
I seen an interview with Matthew, and he was asked, is he going to get fight of the night this fight? And he said he's looking for a fast knockout. So he's gonna
kind of disrespectful.
He's gonna try to get the fight. No, but he said it not in a disrespectful way. But he was just saying how much knockout power he has. He said everything's coming together, and he said I have too much knockout power. If I land it, I can knock people out.
And he can go 3 rounds. And
so it sounds like he's less disrespectful, but more confident in his knockout power.
Man, I like Alex Morono. Man, I've actually rooted for him in his last few fights. I'm picking Matthew just because I feel like this might be the highest Alex can go. Matthew might have more potential to go further. And that's the thing.
And that's the thing with Alex when he fights tougher competition. The Anthony Pettis, the Chaos, the Jordan Maines. He don't win them fights, but he beats everybody else.
But is Matthew that everybody else?
We don't know, but he hasn't shown it yet. That's the thing. And you can say that based on his skill level and his knockout power, but he don't have the numbers to say that now.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I guess we'll have to wait till.
And Alex is a proven crafty veteran who can get the job done. So, but this is like a 50-50 one.
I don't think Matthew is going to just lose a decision like that. He's not going to just let Alex just outpoint him.
And I don't think Alex is going to let Matthew Semelsberger just knock him out like that either. I'm picking Matthew by decision. But I wouldn't be surprised if Alex win, of course.
This tough, man.
It is.
I'm going with Matthew, but I don't know if he can get a job done.
Yeah,
man. Because Alex can get wild. It's like we've seen Alex get wild, but we also see Alex stick to a game plan too.